Good morning. My name is Andrew Lin, and I was an ICDC finalist for a principals event. So today I'm going to be talking about one of the instructional areas that you need to know to excel in your DECA role plays and tests, and that is communication skills. And by the end of this video, I will give you a solid real-world example that you can integrate into your DECA role plays that shows that you know a company that excels in bringing positive communication skills to their employees, which translates to better customer relations. So, let's first talk about written communications. Written communications is acquiring information from written material. The purpose is to gather information and determine if it's relevant or not. One way you can do this, you can determine the validity of this written communication, is the CRAP test. Currency, relevance, authority, accuracy, and purpose, all pertaining to the written communication, to determine whether or not it is trustworthy and worthy of your time and attention. For example, some examples of written communication include emails, reports, memos, and documents. Another important part of communication is actually listening. Listening is very important for communication because if you can listen, then you can answer any questions or concerns that the speaker has, and you can also formulate your own ideas and use it to regurgitate or recommunicate whatever the speaker is saying. So listening is actually a very important process of communication. Active listening, in contrast to passive listening, is fully concentrating on what is being said. The purposes of active listening is to not only support your speaker, but also follow oral directions, retain important knowledge, show empathy, and identify importance. All of which you can only do when you're actively listening, versus passively listening is doing something else while you are listening to a speaker or a podcast in the background. That is passive listening. Next is verbal communications. This is what people think of when they think of communication skills. Verbal communications is the transfer of information through words, and the purposes of this is retaining verbal instructions and communicating information and answering questions. There's also nonverbal communications. There's more than one way to communicate how you feel, what you're doing, your thoughts, ideas, values, goals, and that's one other way is through nonverbal communication, which is conveying information without the use of words. Some examples of this is to have good posture, showing you're attentive, having positive or negative facial expressions, which shows the speaker how you truly feel, and gestures to help you amplify what you're saying verbally. For example, if you are doing a speech, using strong hand gestures to visually show indicators of what you're talking about is a great way to amplify your communication skills. There's different communication skills in the business world. There's communication with your internal workforce, like your staff, for meetings, projects, and creating change. And there's also communication skills with customers, which is like customer relations, the serve mentality into giving positive customer relations, into building positive customer relations, and also representing your company via marketing or brand image. Obviously, examples are key. I tell everyone who wants to excel in their DECA roleplay, if you don't find a way to be unique, you aren't going to win. So one way you can be unique is by using examples. Real-world examples, fake examples, graphs, statistics, like anything just to make your roleplay unique. And for communication skills, one real-world example of exceptional communication skills is the Chipotle. So I bet a lot of you guys have gone to Chipotle, and if you notice, they all say "my pleasure" when they're communicating with you and interacting with you. This creates a level of respect and makes the customer feel valued, which aligns with the serve mentality. So Chipotle obviously does very, very well because of their customer service. They're actually famous for that. And you can use that in your DECA roleplay to talk about how you can incorporate employee training that Chipotle gives to their employees to create long-lasting customer relations with good customer support and good customer communications. And that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Good luck on your DECA roleplays, and I hope to see you out in the competition.